It's the People Station, V103 ATL's number one for hip-hop, R&B, and throwbacks. Big Tigger Morning Show with Jazzy, McBee. Jazzy.
Yes.
Icons.
I know, right?
Legends are joining us this morning. Virtually, we have Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis in the building. Good morning.
Good morning to you guys.
Listen, gentlemen, I've had the honor to meet you in person, lurking at some of these BET Awards, and just been able to be like, what's up? And it's good to have you joining us this morning again.
Good to be with you.
Absolutely. Atlanta is so excited. The legendary evening featuring Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and Friends is invading Atlanta. Saturday, August 30th, 2025, celebrating 40 years of iconic hits and music of the ATL. Featured performers include Ruben Studdard, Deborah Cox, MC Light, Yolanda Adams, Shantae Moore, Morris Day, and Jerome. It's something when you got Morris, but when you got Morris and Jerome, now we talking. Sherelle, Ann Nesby, and more. Well, how did this come about and why?
It is time. It is definitely time. No, we're checking off things off our list. It's one of those things where we've been very blessed to have a long career of doing a whole lot of different things. So now we're at the point where we're looking at what haven't we done, And one of those things that we haven't done is we haven't gone out and played our music live for people. And we thought a great place to do it would be Atlanta, because Atlanta was so foundational to us. I know y'all know the whole snowstorm in Atlanta story with the SOS band, which is what got us fired, which has started us, by Prince. And that started us on our production career. So we just thought it was a great place to celebrate all the great music. And, even stories like Jermaine Dupri was actually in the studio as a little boy with us when we were recording SOS.
Wow. Which
is crazy. So there's so many connections that we have with the area, and we just thought it was a great place to celebrate.
That's right. And actually, Climax, Joyce Irby actually used to live in Atlanta.
Okay.
Where she met Dallas Austin. And, that's a big connection as well. Like, Dallas is like my boy, for sure. So Atlanta is the spot.
Absolutely.
Sure.
How did y'all choose who to take out with you? You've done work with everybody, not do me everybody. From MJ to Prince to the whole Minneapolis sound. But you definitely got some names coming to the show with you. How did you select the people to pull up with you in Atlanta?
Well, everybody is it's basically friends and family. It's people that we've. Everybody on that list has been someone that we've been associated with in some way. And they're all great entertainers because this is a live thing. And we thought it would be important to put people that are entertaining. And we definitely want to get out and use the music to raise spirits, So when you talk about people like Ann Nesby, you talk about people like, who was I just thinking of? Yolanda Adams, When we think about like the songs in our career that would be our favorite songs that we've ever done, think about Sounds of Blackness, Optimistic, So you think about the voice on that song, and that is Ann Nesby. You're thinking about Open My Heart, Yolanda Adams, That's important. You think about the foundation of where Jam and Lewis come from, it's the time. You got to have Morris Day, and like you said, have Jerome and Morris together, that's the pair. That's the reunion. And really everybody on that list has been, someone that's been pivotal in our careers in some way. But also, we got a few surprises. We got a few other friends that are going to come out, that we will announce in a little bit. But, we just want to have people that feel like family to us, man. And we know are going to put on, like I say, a great show. That's what this is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You have to start with the SOS band, man. They're right there in Atlanta, man. Atlanta's own SOS band with Mary Davis.
Where it all started.
Yes,
Mary
sir.
Davis. All started.
Absolutely. Now, Jimmy Jam, speaking of reunion, congratulations to you on your honorary diploma back at home after 49 years of being away. How was that?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was great. My mom never got a chance to see me graduate. She was my date for the Grammys when Terry and I won our Producer of the Year award. So that was sort of like a little bit of a graduation. But to actually get a diploma was very cool. My dad was there, Cornbread, who's a musician, also. So he was there, and it was great. It was fantastic. Something I never would have imagined happening.
What was better, the graduation or the Grammy?
Right.
I will say the graduation,
Okay,
and I'll
good.
say simply because it's the most recent.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
the Grammys was wonderful because, like all the great moments in my life, it's always about who you share it with. So the Grammys was wonderful because I got to share it with Terry Lewis, and like I said, my mom was there also. The graduation was great because I got to share it with my dad. My mom has passed, but I got to share it with my dad. But even though Terry wasn't there physically, he's always there with me anyway. So to me, it's all just celebrating those moments in life. But they asked me, they said at the high school, what's your favorite thing about the high school?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, tonight. Tonight is the latest and the greatest. So yeah, it was very cool.
And this may be for either one of you guys. Like you've been together for so long, you've been friends, business, partnership. Like how do you, when in a business that just everybody, groups are breaking up, businesses are dissolving. How did you guys keep that friendship and partnership going after all these years?
Well, it was a lot of love, a lot of respect, and we always say respect, respect, respect. You have to wish for someone the same thing you wish for yourself, if not more. So whatever good that Jimmy wants, I want it for him, whatever he wants. And so it's been that way for 50 years. I mean, we've been partners 50 years plus probably.
Yeah, 52.
52.
Well, we met in 1973.
Wow.
Yeah, 1973.
And the weirdest part about it is that we've never had an argument in 52 years.
What, really?
What you mean? Not about nothing like, no, it need to go this way. No, it need to go that way. No, come on.
Really?
No, never.
Jimmy, is he lying or is he what?
But here's the distinction. Here's what we say.
Okay.
An argument is something you're trying to win. A disagreement is something you're trying to solve.
Amen.
So we disagree, but it's always with the intent of coming to a solution. And that solution is not about my way or his way. It's about the best way.
Amen.
So we always try to find the best way. But you think about an argument. If I win an argument against Terry, that's my partner. Why do I want to see him lose at something? And vice versa. So that's the way we look at it.
Listen, the legends are speaking. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis are our guests this morning. Speaking of accolades and things of that nature, scheduled to be honored with the Ray Harris Lifetime Achievement Award and James L. Winston with the Chairman's Award at the Living Legends Foundation 2025 Annual Awards Gala coming up this October. When you look back at all that you've accomplished, do the accolades still matter? Are they validation at any point? Or are they just like, oh, that's cool?
That's funny. That's a good question. But I always say the awards are only as good as the people you share them with. And, to get an award with Jam is always a wonderful thing. Have people recognize that you've been doing what you do for so long and you try to do it at a high level. That's always great. It's an honor to be honored, always. But we just love what we do. So we just try to keep putting the love back into it so that you can feel it and you can play it. And we just having fun, man. That's all.
It's all collaborative to me. I think the other thing, the awards like that, first of all, Lifetime Achievement is amazing. And it's nice because, we've lived our life in the way we've kind of wanted to up to this point, but, our life isn't over. So to me, it's both, acknowledging what we've done, but also motivating what we can do. And also, as we like to think of our sunglasses, they reflect back on people. So when somebody shines the light on us, that light goes right back to the people who are honoring us. And so, and they have, a name like Ray Harris involved, who was part of Solar Records back when that was one of the first offices we walked into in LA when we came from Minneapolis and tried to make the deals. And Terry mentioned Climax earlier. It was one of the first groups that we were involved with, and, Ray was involved in those groups. So, a lot of full circle, a lot of those types of things happening. And once again, and very cool, because that event normally is in LA,
Right.
This year it's going to be in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Nice.
Get another excuse to come back to Atlanta, which will be wonderful.
And when you say living legend, we like the living part.
All right. Amen.
Give me these flowers while I'm here,
Right.
please.
Exactly.
We love the living part.
We do have the legends in the building, living legends, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. They will be here Saturday, August 30th at the ViStar Amphitheater at the Bridge, Stockbridge. Tickets are on sale right now. Again, Ruben Studdard, Deborah Cox, MC Light, Jordan Knight, Yolanda Adams, Shantae Moore, Morris Day and Jerome Benton, Sherelle and Nesby, and you never know who going to show. Let me ask you, and this may be a hard question. What are you most proud of individually and collectively?
Ooh, that is a hard question.
Hey, I can always tell you, man, I'm most proud to still be here, able to do what I love to do every day. And the biggest and most successful, proud part of it is being a father and having a beautiful family. So that's my ace in the hole right there for sure, man.
Love it.
Yeah, I was going to say the family part is definitely number one with me. And I was blessed enough to have someone like Terry in my life to really show me what being a father is all about. And raising kids is all about. Because basically, Terry had raised a bunch of kids before I even had kids. And Terry basically told me, you got to have kids. You got to have kids. There's too many knuckleheads having kids out here. We need to have some people that are good people having kids.
I know that's right.
that was his advice to me. And, I have 3 beautiful kids. And so all of that, yeah, I think that probably is the thing we're most proud of for sure.
What, if anything, is missing from music these days?
I don't know whether anything's missing. People say to me all the time, well, music's not like it used to be. And I always say, well, it's not really supposed to be. It's supposed to be ever evolving. Back in the old days, when Beethoven was hitting the piano, that's all Beethoven had to hit was a piano. They started coming up with harpsichords and all kinds of different stuff. When we started, it was live drums, playing instruments, went to drum machines, went to synthesizers, all that. I think that's kind of the evolution of music. And I think that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think sometimes what's missing, though, is maybe the art of collaboration. Because when Terry and I were growing up, you had to collaborate with people. You had to have a drummer and a bass player and a guitar player. And it was about all those people working together in a great way. Now you can make a record sitting on your bed in your bedroom on a laptop. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I just think there's something about hearing the collaborative spirit. I mean, I just saw Earth, Wind & Fire the other night. And hearing a band that plays like that, think about the time, what a collaboration that was with groups like that. Think about the SOS band, which is one of the first bands we ever, produced. And just so I think the collaborative thing is maybe the little thing that I see missing now. But there's still some really great music being made. And hopefully we're the ones making some of it.
I love it. I love it. And I was going to say, because I was just at Jazzy's concert, he performed in front of a live band. And I said, you know what? And Gucci's too. And Gucci's was my first ever seeing an artist. Of course, they don't sing R&B, but an artist just perform in front of a live band. I'm like, we need more of this. Like, we really do.
Yeah, just seeing people work together. Like sometimes I use basketball as an analogy. If you watch a dunk in a game, but it's set up from a steal or alley-oop or whatever, and that dunk is the greatest thing you've ever seen. You see a dunk in a dunk contest, and it's kind of like, that's cool. So something about the collaboration of people together is fun to watch, fun to listen to. I just think that's probably the thing. And I think that's the key to Terry and myself, is that it's always a collaboration. No matter how it comes about, at the end of the day, it's always Jam and Lewis. So I just think there's something that's special about that.
Love it.
I also would like to add that I think what's missing a lot of times is the respect and appreciation that people have for music and the work that goes into it. Like, we need to respect the artists that are making music. We need to respect the music itself and not treat it like the things that we take for granted every day, like air and water. Because nobody cares about air until they can't breathe, and water until they can't drink or bathe. So music is just like that. Music is something that, people think is just in the air. No, a lot of work goes into what we do. And that goes for every artist, no matter who they are. So we have to respect the artists that create the music, and we have to respect the music itself, because it's very important to our survival. Just like those things that we think of as utilities, like water and air and electricity, and we take for granted because they're readily available to us. We can't take them for granted.
Absolutely. The icons, the legends, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, coming to town Saturday, August 30th at the ViStar Amphitheater. Get you out of here on this, gentlemen. I assume, and I'm almost sure, Jimmy, you started on the drums, and I don't remember exactly what you started on, Terry, but is that something that we could do better at in music, like playing instruments, musicianship? A lot of things of technology has entered the fray, whether it be streaming, whether it be the production end of things. Is musicianship something that could help music?
I feel like musicianship always helps music. It helps you really, once again, respect the music itself. It puts you in the center of it. And it's also like a language that we all speak as musicians. And if you're in a band, even if you don't play other instruments, you learn how to work with those other instruments. So you know kind of what they're supposed to be doing. They know what you're supposed to be doing and how it all meshes together. You know, I had the opportunity growing up to play with Sam and Dave, and I was just a young buck, you know, and they old heads pulled me in and just told me, yo, man, you out there, I don't want you to play off that E and that A string. You don't be plucking and stuff here. You just play the bass. and then, you know, they taught me pocket things like, okay, yeah, you play behind the beat a little bit, meaning that you want to make that downbeat a little bit thicker. You know, you play behind it so that's a little longer, a little more punchy. And things like that. That came from playing and being around older guys who knew what the pocket was, because we young, we trying to rush and get through everything, trying to do the most licks. But you jump over the hit to get a lick, and that's not what you're supposed to do. So you got to play your part. It's your part. We don't need you plucking. We don't need you doing no extra nothing. We just need you to play the bass and hold it down. So that's an important thing too. Just the respect that you have for those things and the people in the band, and understanding the whole principle of what we're trying to accomplish. It's an important part of music.
And I think it's important also that people see it. You know, I love an artist like her, for instance, who you see her on the Grammys. She's playing the drums. She's playing the guitar. She can play the keyboard. She can write. I think when people see that, I remember saying to her that, you know, wait till you see your impact 10 years from now. Mm-hmm. Where there's a little girl watching the show and she sees you and she goes, wait, I want to learn how to play a bass. Yeah. I want to learn how to play a guitar, or I want to, you know, I think that's part of it, is we don't see that, or we haven't seen that for a long time. So I think as we see more musicians, then people like to emulate what they see. So I think that's going to be the other key of that.
Well, listen, we are here to celebrate a legendary evening with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and friends, Saturday, August 30th, ViStar Amphitheater. Tickets are on sale. They are celebrating 40 years of iconic hits in music in the ATL. Ruben Studdard, Deborah Cox, MC Light, Jordan Knight, Yolanda Adams, Shantae Moore, Morris Day, and Jerome Benton, Sherelle Ann Nesby. And it says, you never know who gon' show. So I suggest you pull up to see what's happening.
Yeah, and by the way, on that, you know, and you're hearing it first here, because that's a great list that you just named off. But like Terry said earlier, SOS Band, we mentioned them. They're the foundation. They will be there.
Nice.
Wow.
With Mary Davis. So
nice.
We'll break it right here on the morning show. We're going to break that right here.
Listen.
Make that announcement. And there's going to be more of that showing up. But that's foundational to us. That's the first place, like I say, you know.
You guys are going to get me in trouble because now my dad is going to watch this, and now he's going to want some VIP passes, so now I got to up the ante.
Hey, by the way, and I want y'all, make sure that you hit us on our social media accounts and all that stuff. But we want to know, we're putting together a song list. And we got to hone it down. I think we're starting with about 70 songs. But we got to hone it down. I mean, with SOS alone, we might have 10, 12 songs we got to do.
That's going to be a good time.
Got to leave room for everybody to do their thing, you know. So
we're going to be there all night, sir.
What do you want us to perform from our catalog?
Okay. Well, listen, I appreciate the time. I appreciate your impact on the culture and all that you've done. I remember dancing around to all them songs, watching Purple Rain, watching I Love Me Some Mars Day and the Time. You hear me? Sherelle, on down the line. You have produced and brought memories and cherished memories tied to music for the last 4 decades, and we appreciate all that you've done, gentlemen.
Yes, we do.
And we mostly appreciate your time this morning, and we will see you Saturday, August 30th at the ViStar Amphitheater. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.